Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the day here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and this is going to be a really fun episode today. This is going to be a solo episode. We've had some good guest interviews on recently, but we're going to roll solo today. We're going to get into some things about live events and all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening and following along with us. It's a joy to get to come to you every single week, 3 times a week, and bring really fun and energizing content out. It's not always the most high quality, but hey, we're having a good time while we're doing it and trying to build some good relationships along the way. So thank you again for everything you do here, following along with us and sharing the show. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into today what we're going to talk about. Today what we want to talk about is we want to get into why live events are so key and crucial to your life, your personal life, and your business. There's a lot that can be taken away from this. I think this conversation can go a lot of different directions. So this is going to come out Wednesday before Entrepreneur Academy Live, and it's going to be, 2 weeks after Equip Expo. So 2 of the biggest events in our industry are happening within 3 weeks of each other. And so it's a lot packed in here all at one time. And I know everybody's tired of hearing about Equip, I'm sure by now. But bear with us one more episode, and we'll finally move on. But I think it's very important to be talked about because something that I learned from hearing from other people. I learned from hearing other people's real-life testimonies. So what I want to do here in the beginning of the show is I want to do a quick recap of our Equip and what happened, what we did while we were there. We had some good interviews from people we met and things like that, but we haven't really gone through a show since we've been home and just said, hey, this is what we did. This was our show, and I think this is something that we can do next year and you can do next year and go and have a good time. So I want to do that real quickly, maybe 10 minutes or so here in the beginning. And then I want to transition into Entrepreneur Academy, but not just solely Entrepreneur Academy, just the basis and the principle of why live events and why conferences are so important to yourself and to your business and to your future growth. So let's hop into it. Equip Expo. This was a really, really fun time. If you went to Expo and we got to see you, we got to hang out for a little bit, thank you so much for coming up and saying, hey, we got to meet so many people while I was there. I got to meet so many people while I was there. I was by myself, but hopefully Savannah and Jack will be with me next year. But I got to meet so many people who listen to the podcast. An overwhelming majority of you said that you love Marriage Monday shows. Thank you so much for that. That's a journey that we didn't know where that was going to go. Still honestly don't know where it's going to go. It's just up in the air. We're having a good time doing it right now. It's fun creating content with Savannah. We're having a good time, and she's learning and getting more and more comfortable. So hopefully that will stick around for a long time to come because I love helping other people in ways that I want to be helped. So that is one way that I want to soak up knowledge is how our marriage can be better, how our business can be better, and things like that. So thank you to everyone who came up and said, hey, we listened to the show. We love Marriage Mondays. We love the normal show, whatever it may be for you. Those comments really help us keep us going, especially when you're not making a ton of money on podcasts or anything like that. It's just fun knowing there's a great community of people out there helping us and supporting us along the way, and just having a good time while we're doing it. So first, thank you to each and every one of you that came up and said, hey, we got up there on Tuesday, went to Merrill's Whiskey Kitchen to see Mitchell Gordy and his event, his jobber event on Tuesday night, and that was a really fun time. Packed house. I told Mitchell 5 minutes after being there, I was like, dude, this isn't going to work next year. You're going to have to rent out this place, the whole place, not just one side of the restaurant. And he agreed. He was like, yeah, next year we got to get some more sponsors on board. This whole place is going to get rented out, and it's not just going to be one half. So if you've ever been there, the restaurant is literally split down the middle. There's the right side and the left side, and the left side is open to normal business, and then the right side is all his meetup people, the jobber event. And so it was a really fun time. But I tell you, we were breaking every fire marshal code there was. There was no way that there should have been that many people in that small of a space. But it was so nice being back, especially after the last couple of years of social distancing and hanging out, like not being near each other. It was nice being back there in a tight-knit area, just like getting to fellowship and hang out. And is anybody else like me? It's kind of weird. Like, this is something that after, like, going to football games again and basketball games, getting in and around 80, 100,000 people in those stadiums. Are you not? It's crazy how COVID changed just the society for a couple of years, because when I'm around those people, like, I'm not scared at all, but I'm kind of like, whoa, why are you so close to me? Like, I feel like we got accustomed to not having people right on top of you. And so that was something that happened all the time up until COVID, obviously, like concerts, stadiums, football games, basketball games, whatever it may be. Really fun times getting to network and hang with each other, and everybody's really tight, close together, and just having a good time. So I still am kind of like, whoa, like, back off a little bit. Like, I don't mean anything by it, but I'm like, whoa, why are you so close? And so I was having to, I fought that. I got over that. Like, I'm not upset. It doesn't bother me at all, like I said. But it's still just funny. I'm still getting over that. So back into the swing of things there, getting to hang out with a ton of people, so close together. We were yelling the whole time. I feel like my voice was gone by the time I left. And so we stayed there for a little bit. Then we went to the opening ceremonies at Louisville Slugger Field. That was a fun time. Very, very bitterly cold. And I don't know why, but I walked the whole stadium like 3 times, and we never found, until the last 30 minutes of while I was there, I was outside, and I didn't know they had those big ballrooms open on the inside. They were kind of hidden off, tucked to the side. Well, there were these big ballroom type things open. They were warm and had good warm food in there and stuff. So went in there and hung out with the Fullertons and the Almonds for a little bit, and just chatted for a few minutes before we wrapped it up, and went to the hotel for the night. So went to the hotel for the night, kind of hung out, and actually went to the airport to get my roommate. He got in super late that night. It was Foreman Rob stayed with me there while we were there. So anybody that follows Brian knows who Foreman Rob is. And so it was fun getting to hang out with him and getting to know him a little bit better. So he got there about midnight. So it was late night out there. Got back, went to sleep. Wednesday morning, we got up and hit the show early. We had to actually be at John Deere with Paul Jamison. If you listen to the Green Industry Podcast, you know that Paul had an interview with John Deere. And I was honored to be able. He asked me to be there for that interview, and because they were wanting to talk to a turf person who has actually ran their equipment. So we've ran John Deere from the beginning. So it was an honor getting to hang out with him and Eric. And if you haven't listened to that podcast on Paul's show, then you need to go definitely listen to that one. To Green Industry Podcast. I don't know, it came out probably a week and a half ago, something like that. It's on Paul's YouTube as well. Green Industry Podcast on YouTube. So go check that out. Go watch the YouTube video if you want to, because you can see the behind the scenes of the whole John Deere booth, kind of in the background there, what all was going on. Such a fun time hanging out with them. Like, some of the people we got to meet there with the company are just really, really cool people, down to earth, really genuine. I hope to see some fun things come with them in the future, and it was just really fun. We were there for like 2 hours. We did a long interview. We hung out and talked and shook hands for a long time while we were there, and then we went over. And I went to talk to Husqvarna that morning, talked to a couple other brands, just networking, trying to get my name out there and having a good time while we were doing it. And then, so that was Wednesday. What was Wednesday at lunchtime? Because Wednesday, I don't think there was any. There was some meetups, I think, at the booths. I think Paul had a meetup and Brian had a meetup, something like that. I don't remember. It's kind of a blur, but we hung out, went outdoors for sure. We went outdoors, and then I'd come back in. I wasn't outdoors for the DeWalt fire, though. And that's something, 2 seconds here, everybody's heard it talked about now. It took over the internet. If you're in the green industry at all, took over the internet within like an hour. I talked with the DeWalt the next day, and I literally talked with the president of Stanley and Decker, and she was at the booth, and we were talking, and then one of their engineers was there. And we were just talking about how, like, this stuff's going to happen. It was a prototype mower. It was a one-off thing. Like, the chances of that happening are just 1 in a billion. Like, it just stinks that it happened to them. And it stinks it happened at this show because there was so much battery-powered potential there. That's what everybody was pushing. That our interview with John Deere was talking about their electric stuff coming in the future and things like that. So much was going on battery power to the show. So for that to happen, it kind of put a damper on things in the beginning. But it is what it is. No one got hurt. Praise the Lord. DeWalt's going to bounce back from that. I think all the other companies are definitely going to take a step back now, and they're going to say, whoa, how do we keep that from happening to us? I think DeWalt is going to be fine. They're going to make it through. They have a cool lineup with DeWalt mowers, and they're the concept that they had, the mower that blew up, was actually one that is a convertible stand-up sit-down mower. If you haven't seen it yet, you could stand on the back and then you just push the controls forward and you can sit down. And really, really cool machine. Like, the concept was really cool. It was unlike anything I've ever seen. It was unlike anything at the show. So they were definitely standing out. I hate that it happened like that. But hey, they got it might not have been good PR, but they got a lot of PR, a lot of views, a lot of acknowledgement towards their piece of equipment. So maybe it'll make a bounce back, and then maybe it'll be kind of forgotten in the next years to come. But battery power is gonna happen. It's gonna be here to stay for a while. I mean, these companies wouldn't be investing millions and millions of dollars if they didn't think it was gonna stay. And so it's not. I don't know that it will ever overtake gas powered per se. Like, I mean, overtake is a big thing. That's a big feat to do. Will it be half and half? I mean, I don't know. Maybe, but there will be. I think 30, 35 to 40% will become electric within the next 5 to 7 years, I think. As long as they can get the price points down. Like, I'm not going to go out and pay $30,000 for an electric mower right now. It just doesn't benefit me that much when I can pay 12 or 13 for a gas powered, and that's what I've ran. That's what I'm comfortable with. I'm not having to make any big changes. And so I guess you do their cost, their replacement, things like that. That's their argument is you don't have as much, you don't have to replace it as often, you don't have to replace parts, you don't have to do any maintenance, things like that. And so it is valid to an extent. It is valid that you do pay more, but you don't have to do as much maintenance, you don't have to put fuel in it every day. So I don't know what the cost analysis, the benefit is there for it, but I think it will be here to stay. I'm a battery fan. I think it will be here to stay for a while. And so the robotics is another cool thing that was happening at the show. There's a lot of robotics going on, a lot of autonomous mowing. I actually posted a TikTok on a Husqvarna mower that was running by itself, had it outside with a remote control. I know they weren't the only one, but that's the one that I saw was just Husqvarna was stand-on, was out there running around. And so I know Ed Wright with Wright Mowers, they have one. They were the first ones that I ever saw do it. And so they're a leader in that world. Big open fields, big open spaces. It's going to catch on. It's going to come on. Robotics will be the way of the future, I think, as well. It'll kind of go hand in hand with battery. Who knows where we're going to go? We're living in the early ages. We're living in the beginning stages of it all. I think in 10 to 15 years, it will really be changed. And forgive me, when I don't have any water with me when I'm doing this, and that's a bad sign. I always act like I'm yawning. I go like a minute and then my throat gets dry. So try to pull up enough saliva to keep me going here. But it's a little too much information. But thank you for tuning in if you made it to this point. So robotics, battery power mowers, they are going to go somewhere. Don't know when, don't know how, but it's going to happen, I believe. And so I think this podcast, like all these podcasts that are coming out this year, the years prior to this, they'll be really fun to go back and listen to in 3 to 5 years when all these products are released. All of John Deere's products are set to release by 2026. The products that we're releasing are a compact Gator UTV thing, a compact tractor, a stand-on mower, and I don't remember the other. There's 4. I don't remember what the other one was, though. There were four machines that they were unveiling and saying, these are all going to be out by 2026. So within 3 to 4 years, all these are going to be out. And we're going to be able to look back on these podcasts and see, were we right or were we wrong? If you ever listen to Andy Frisella's podcast, it's a really good show. Sometimes he gets on a little too many rants for me, but when he talks business, he talks some really good stuff. He's gotten very political now, and I think he's speaking up about things that need to be spoken up about. So I'm not totally against it by any means. I listen to it all the time. Got some language. If you can get through the language, there's some good stuff in there. So, but anyway. He was podcasting all the way through COVID, all the way through, and he said a lot of things that were going to happen that have happened now. He said in 2018, 2019, 2020, they were going to happen. You can go back and listen to his shows. He'll reference them all the time. Go back and listen to this show. Go back and listen to this show when I said this and that. And so he's not prophetic or anything, but it's just like this. In 5 years or 3 years, we'll be able to look back and say, hey, go listen to episode 162 or whatever episode this is. We go back and listen to that and talk about when we were saying, hey, robotics and battery powered mowers will be here to stay. They're not yet, but they will be. It's a really cool concept. I don't think they're going to put us out of business yet. I don't think they're going to be able to do that because they're just not going to be able to do what the homeowner wants, what they're paying us to do. People that are paying us to cut their yard, majority of the time, are not just like, if they wouldn't be content, if they were content with what a robot mower would do, they would go buy a little battery powered mower, or they would go buy a little robot mower and put that in their yard and do it. But that robot mower is never going to have the technology, and I think they're making them right now where they can stripe, but I don't foresee it ever getting to the point where it's as good as a human when it's out there weeding and edging and trimming and trimming bushes and like all that stuff that goes into lawn maintenance. I just don't think it's going to happen. But autonomous mowing, big open spaces, yeah, I think there's a market for it. The homeowner that doesn't care about their yard, yeah, there's a market for it. But who knows where it's going to go. So I don't even know how we got off on the battery and robot, but that's what. Oh, we were talking about outdoor. Went outdoor, saw a lot of stuff. Saw the new steel mower that was coming out. That's pretty cool. I actually got to run a Mini X for the first time and a full size skid steer. I've ran plenty of mini skids before, but I've never ran a full size skid, and so that was pretty fun. I did not know what I was doing at all. But the skid steer came more natural than the Mini X did. The Mini X was kind of tough. I looked like an idiot out there. I'm sure I can't be the worst one they saw that day, but I did not look very good at all. I'm not a professional operator. So if anybody's got any Mini X operating tips, shoot me a message. I would love to come hang out for a couple days and try and work on a crew or something and get my operating better, because that is something I would like to do in the future. Maybe is get into maybe some French drain installs or something like that. Maybe some small retaining walls. Who knows where a Mini X could be beneficial. So. Hey, networking, that's what we're doing here on the podcast. If we can make a connection with somebody who has a business like that, I might come out and hang out for a few days and maybe shoot some videos or something, do a podcast, and kind of get taught from a good operator on how to operate. So that was Wednesday night. I don't remember what we did. There was nothing. We went to Brett Goodyear's event and Alan Haynes, the axe throwing place. Let me tell you this. It was a really fun event, first off. Like, Alan had really cool sponsors. They gave away some cool stuff. I won a Yard Mastery Yeti, so that was pretty cool. Name brand Yeti too. It wasn't off brand. So that was a really cool time. Axe throwing, if you've never gone axe throwing, you need to go. Like, I got home and I told Savannah, I said, we need to go axe throwing like yesterday, because it was so fun. I did not realize how fun it was going to be. But I was very competitive. Like, it was very competitive. I was there, and me and Caleb were throwing opposite of each other, and we were just giving each other such a hard time. But I won, of course. My team won. Well, we won one and lost one, but anyway, it was a really fun time, and it's a really good like stress decompressor if you want to do that. But go axe throwing if you haven't done that yet. That'll be a fun date, fun together in trades date night. There you go. Leave the kids at home, leave the kids with grandparents or something, and go out and have some fun axe throwing. So we did that Wednesday night. Thursday, bright and early, Influencer Live. Everybody's talked about it. You've heard everything up and down. I'm not going to park on it too long. It was a really fun time getting to hang out. Got to hear from some really cool speakers, Alex Kirby, Mitchell Gordy, and Andy Mulder. And that was so worth it. Like, it was free. You paid $10 to get into the expo. You got to hear all three of those guys speak. Naylor, Paul, and Caleb all interview them. And then you got another event in the afternoon, Energize, with Brian Fullerton, Blake Albertson, Mike Andes, and Paul Jameson again. Like, for $10 for the event. You got all that. The value that was in those events were crazy. Like, I paid $75 for some actual classes there that Expo was offering. The classes were worth it, but at the same time, like, I would have much rather paid $75 to hear from what I heard in those events. And those events were free. It's insane. Like, you should have to pay a lot of money to go to those. And we're going to circle back to those in a minute. So, went through Energize, went through Influence Live, really fun times there. Learned a lot. Got back in the show. We actually, the food truck. I ate food truck and Energize. Hopefully, if you go next year, I'm a big food guy. I enjoy my food. Actually, we're going to hopefully start losing some, getting back in shape here. That's what I'm going to start doing. Getting in shape, eating better, eating cleaner, things like that, especially heading into the holidays and the new year, trying to start things off right. And being a dad, you got to keep up with that stuff. So I need to live a little longer. But there was a food truck. There was brisket and nachos, and that was, oh man, it was good. I hope if you go next year, right out front in Freedom Hall, right there where the food trucks are in the parking lot. Yeah, it was the one right there out the doors. There was a couple of them out there, but it was one right in front of the doors. Go next year. Get the brisket nachos because they were very, very good. I wish we would have gotten them on Wednesday. I didn't get anything good on Wednesday, but those were really good on Thursday. So Energize and Influencer Live were Thursday. Hung out the show some more. Networked. Went and saw James Reed with Christmas Mentor. If you haven't checked that out, we did an interview with him earlier on in the year, talking about all things Christmas lights. He's got a really good program there, and it's in the show notes today. You can click on it and it'll take you straight to it if you want to look at signing up and getting that program. It's a really cool program. Anything you need to know about Christmas lights, it's in that program. There's a couple options they offer. I really highly suggest you getting it. I bought mine. I'm telling you, I bought mine. I paid the money and got mine. It was worth it. And we're actually in the middle of Christmas lights right now. Sending out quotes almost every day for the most part. We hadn't closed all of the ones that I wanted, but it's first year, so we're just kind of easing our way into it. I'm not a look. I know all entrepreneurs are different. All people are different. Some people are like, hey, we're going to throw all our eggs in this basket and we're going to go balls to the walls and knock it out. And that's okay, but at the same time, you have to be smart. I have a family to support. I have a house. I have I have a family. I'm not a 20-year-old entrepreneur that's single or an 18-year-old straight out of high school that just hey, let's throw all my money to this. Let's put all my eggs in this basket, sink or fail, sink or swim, because I can't afford to sink, so we're easing into it. Everybody's different. You do whatever floats your boat, but really cool course if you want to learn there. So we got to hang out with him. Got to go see Alex and Pure Marketing, saw their booth. Got to see Weston Zimmerman with Synced Up. Really fun time hanging out with him. We didn't get to talk for 3 minutes, but if you missed Weston's interview, that's actually one of the best interviews we've done on this show, on this program. Seriously, in our program history. The interview with Weston was absolutely insane. Go back, I don't know, probably 2 months ago maybe. One of the best interviews that we've had on the show, hands down. Go listen to it about knowing your numbers. Weston has built an awesome company in Synced Up. He helps so many hardscapers and people that build outdoor spaces and have taken their businesses to the next level. It's insane. And I hope we can get Weston on board here, maybe trying to get something in the lawn mowing world. But we're going to see what happens there in the future. But I'm going to hang out with him. So many more guys. I don't want to keep naming names because I'll forget somebody. But got to just meet and hang out and network and just have a really, really good time there on Thursday. GIE Rally Thursday night. Or GIE Rally. YouTube Rally, I think is what it's called this year. But I know there's a couple sponsors behind that. Cujo, Jobber, Skag, I think was in there as well. So that was awesome. That was where you really get to talk to this community. This community is there. At Expo, this community shows up at Expo for sure. This podcast, YouTube, Instagram, social media community that we have. Everybody listens in. It's kind of all one big network. They showed up at Expo, but there's 20,000 other people that are there with you, with us, hanging out. So when I say they showed up, I mean there was 500 to 600 people who are tight knit in this community. There were a bunch of people there I didn't know, but there were so many there that I didn't know, and so it was we see them 2 or 3 times a year, but I feel like they're really close friends. It was so fun getting to hang out and network and meet people. That was one of the times where for a couple hours that night I was sitting there talking to new people who listen to the show that I'd never gotten to put a name to a face before. We talk on social media, we talk on Instagram. But that's nothing like sitting there having a good conversation, hanging out with each other. And so I adore that time. That was so fun, and I cannot wait to do it again next year. So that meetup was super fun Thursday night. Went home, went back to the hotel, slept really nice. It was Savannah was jealous because I didn't have Jack and Savannah with me, so that was she hasn't gotten a good full night's of sleep since he was born because she's here with him every night. And so I was not. They weren't with me, so I got a full night's rest, which was very nice, very appreciative. But Nostrand Academy, Savannah and Jack are coming, so that hotel sleep isn't gonna hit like it did in Kentucky. But Friday got up, went to the show for a few hours, and I headed on home. We had about a 6-hour drive back, so I wanted to get back before too late that evening. Had some things going on Friday evening, but that was my Equip show. Essentially, in 15 minutes, it was something that I enjoyed doing. It was just a genuine time of fellowship and hanging out with people that I'm so glad I got to meet, and I can't wait to grow relationships with them further, because each and every one of you listening to the show helps us do what we do. the podcast doesn't happen if we don't have listeners. So thank you. And thank you for coming up and saying hey and hanging out and having such a good time. And I can't wait to grow the community moving forward. And then next year, have more people that we even are listening to the show and more people to meet and just continue to grow everybody here together. So that was the Equip Expo. Now I want to kind of transition really quickly into Launchpreneur Academy Live. That's in 3 days, 2 days if you're listening to this live, or 3 days, I guess, if you're listening to this on Wednesday. You got Thursday, Friday, and then events on Saturday. But we're making a trip up there. This is my first Launchpreneur Academy Live. The last 2 years I coached basketball, and we've had games every night, both times, because it's the opening week of the season. So they were games that, I was the head coach. I can't miss those games. But at the same time, that's not an excuse. It was a lame excuse in the grand scheme of things. I was committed to those guys, I was committed to my team, so I wasn't going to bail on them. But I really, really wish I could have gone the last 3 years to Launchpreneur Academy Live. This year is going to be absolutely amazing. I already know it. The speaker lineup is hands down crazy. And so, really, I'm just hyping you up if you're going, because it's too late. You can't get tickets. I'm sorry. We should have done a show earlier, but you can't get tickets if you didn't get any. It's too bad. You'll have to come next year. But so maybe this will be your push to come next year. But if you're coming, I can't wait to meet you there. Can't wait to hang out, have a really fun time together. But I'm coming here to grow. I'm coming here to build a network, build relationships, but I'm coming to grow. The interviews that I hope to get here while we're at the show, the podcast, hopefully, man, I will hope to grow the podcast big at this show. I want to meet a lot of people that are there that don't listen to the show, and I want to grow it. I want to grow our community. I want to grow this show. I want to grow by interviews that we get from speakers. Hopefully, interview some of the speakers of the show. These are names that have run multi-million-dollar companies. Who's the Element guy? Mark Bradley. Dude built a $50 million landscape company and now owns or is the CEO of LMN. It's crazy what these people have done. $250 and you're there. So super looking forward to that. It's going to be a long day of traveling on Thursday. Thursday when we're going to be up there, and then we're going to be there Friday, Saturday, come home. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come home on Monday. So it's going to be a fun little quick trip to get away. So what is the importance of networking and live events? So this is really what I want to get into for the last 10 minutes here or so. Is why do we go? Why do we spend this much money to go and meet people and hang out and talk shop? And so there's a couple things that I've written down. They're in no particular order, but I just want to run through them and say this is why I do things. And there's so many more, and it's probably going to relate to you in a different aspect. There's going to be different reasons you do it. For me, I do it to connect with new people. If I haven't said that enough in this podcast, I'll say it again. Connecting with people in person is unlike any other thing out there. Yeah, we can talk on a screen, we can type messages, we can do this and that, but that's nothing like sitting there face-to-face, shaking a hand, and talking for 5 minutes. It builds that relationship. It builds your rapport out there with other people. It's just such a fun time getting to hang out. So I am so looking forward to it. I got a phone call coming in there on my MacBook, but so looking forward to connecting with people. The next thing is one, we get a break for the season. We get a break, and I know it's the end of the year. Everything's kind of to die off, but down here in the south at least. Up north, you're about to get snow. Leaves are coming down right now. Snow's coming right after that. So you get a little bit of a break. You get some time off. Take a few days, and you get to just relax and just hang out. First off, hang out with your spouse if she's coming or he's coming, and then hang out with other people. So connecting, you get a break from the season. You get to just time to stop. You get a time to refuel your business and refuel your life. The people and the speakers and the knowledge that's going to be coming from that stage is going to be so rejuvenating. I'm so excited. I feel like I'm going to come home and want to tackle the world. If you listen to the Kid Contractor podcast with Caleb and Brittany, they went to an LMN workshop, and they both said, they were like, when we leave there, I want to go conquer the world. And that's how it feels. That's how I feel when I go to these events. So it's how I feel at Equip. This is how really I'm going to feel coming up from Launchpreneur Academy, because we're talking really growing your business and moving forward, progressing, really growing your business. Equip is a lot of networking, a lot of hanging out, a lot of seeing cool equipment, not as much business talk. This is all hands down business. Let's grow your business. Let's grow your life. Let's grow your future. So that's what I'm excited for. We're going to refuel. We're going to revamp. We're going to be re-energized, and we're going to come home ready to conquer the world. And so the thing is, though, when you go up there and you refuel, how are you going to come home? How are you going to implement that into your life? Are you going to go up there and forget about everything you heard in the last day while you were there? You had a full day conference, and there was a lot to suck in, a lot to take in. Are you going to come home on Monday and forget it all? That can't happen. You have to come home and implement everything. And I'm sure we're going to do a follow-up show And I'm sorry, these are all real-time live events, but like this is just the time of the year it is. This live event season. It's kind of the end of the mowing season, live event season in the spring, live event season in the fall. And so I hope you enjoy the shows. If you don't like them, you can click off and you don't have to listen again. But we're gonna put out what we feel like needs to come out, and I feel like this is valuable stuff that needs to be talked about. And so when you get home from this event, you have to implement these things into your company. I'm already deciding how I'm going to do that. I'm writing down plans. I'm writing down future goals, future budgets for next year. I'm already starting to plan that stuff. Budgeting is a really hard thing. It's something that I haven't been good at in my business so far. I really plan on learning a lot from this event, hopefully, on budgeting, and I really want to implement that into 2023 moving forward because I don't think you can run a really profitable business without a good budget. And you all know my story here. Like we're still pretty young in business in the grand scheme of things. We've been in business for 4 years. So like my business has not been hyper profitable. It hasn't been this year either. Like, yeah, we've turned profit, we've done well, but it's not anywhere where I want it to be or where I need it to be or where I want your business to be. Like I want everybody else's business to be better than my business, like when it comes to numbers and things. So we want to always keep growing, want to always be being better. That's what you get from these live events. You get to get in there for $250 and hang out with these people. And you get the replay or whatever. The replay, the video is nothing ever near the same as sitting there in the room with that amount of people, that amount of intensity, that energy, that just the vibe that you get while being there. Nothing like it. So I'm excited to really go. I haven't even got to experience. I've experienced it through the videos. I've experienced it through people's stories the last 2 years. I've had FOMO. I hated not being there. So I know how good it's going to be, and I'm so excited for it. The last thing, kind of off of refueling, and there's so many more points, but I don't want to hold you too long today. I don't want to keep rambling, is growth. And so growth is you get to refuel your business, but then we say, we come home, what are we going to do with it? You have to decide to grow. And grow doesn't always mean numbers. It doesn't always mean instead of having one employee, you have 5 employees. It doesn't always mean that. It doesn't always mean going from 100,000 to 120,000. Okay? Like, it's okay to say that. Like, you don't have to grow in numbers every single year. Should your profitability be increasing percentages every year? Yes, I believe so. But if you don't, it doesn't mean you didn't grow. Maybe you took that money and you reinvested, okay? So you're growing your equipment fleet or whatever, maybe you're reinvesting into your employees. If you really have a tough year holding employees and you're like, we need to change this. We need to change our future when it comes to our employees. We need to make this a place where they want to work. Well, yeah, you might not show as much profit, but you poured a bunch of money into rebuilding an employment program. And so that's something that you need to be looking at moving into 2023 and going forward is like, how are we going to take away from these conferences growth mindsets? And that's something that I am trying to learn more and more about every single day. Grant Cardone talks about growth, having a growth mindset all the time, a wealth mindset. I just did a little seminar with him over the weekend. So cool. So it was like $100. Like $100, you get to be on a 3-day Zoom with him, and he talks about all wealth and wealth building, things like that. These are things you need to be doing to invest in yourself. And you need to have a growth mindset, even if it's not, like I said, it's not sales, it's not bodies, it's profitability. It's on the back end of things. It's maybe I'm growing my business by hiring a bookkeeper or hiring a staff member. I know that's employees, but hiring a bookkeeper or maybe it's I'm just trying to think of options. Becoming more efficient on your enclosed trailers or your box trucks, or maybe you're getting racks installed on your open trailers. Things like that, like little efficiencies that help grow your business. Though, if you do a bunch of little efficiencies, then you could really take the place of one big efficiency at the end of the year. Like if you just do a bunch of little things to try to grow, you could end off better at the end of the year than you do if you just do one big thing. You never know. So try to grow from these events. These are things that I've taken away from the live events I've been to. I can't speak for Launchpreneur Academy yet, but I know I'm going to have a ton of good things to say about it. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be so awesome, and the energy is going to be there. So I hope you bring it and you're there ready to go. So thank you for listening to the show today. I know it's been 32 minutes of me just talking to myself essentially, but I hope you got a little bit of value out of it. Let me ask you this before you have to show up. If you are listening to this show and you have not left us a 5-star rating and review, I want to really, really ask you, would you please do that? We have hundreds of downloads every single week for every single episode, but our reviews and our ratings don't match that. And so for us to continue to grow out there and grow a bigger community and bring better content and better guests onto the show, we have to be reviewed. We have to have ratings behind us to help push us. And so podcasts that I listen to that I enjoy, I leave ratings and reviews. I know, like, we were sitting at dinner Wednesday or Thursday night at Equip, and the place we're eating was amazing. It was a barbecue place, and I was like, man, I'm going to review this place. And it was such a good barbecue place. And I know how that review will help them. And I know I'm kind of calling you out here, but I'm talking to you specifically. If you listen to the show, maybe it's your first time. I don't do this every single show. Come back to the next time. I won't do it again. But please, 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 I implore, I beg you, I beg you, get on my hands and knees and beg you. Not seriously, but just if you appreciate the show, just leave us a quick 5-star rating and a review, a short 1-sentence review. It will literally take you 30 seconds at the most. And that will help us tremendously growing the show forward. And I hate to ask for that stuff. I hate doing this. I try to throw it in every other episode here at the end, but every once in a while, we do have to ask because I just know how much it's social proofs. When you look at something on Amazon, are you going to buy the same exact product? Are you going to look at the product that has 20 reviews, or are you going to look at the product that has 100 reviews? You're obviously going to click on the product that has 100 reviews, and you're going to read 2 or 3 of them, and you say, oh, this is good. Well, let's listen or let's buy the product. And that's exactly how it goes with podcasts. That's exactly how it goes with the eating world, with that Russian I was talking about. You see a few good reviews, you say, oh, this is good. Other people like it. Let's listen. And so that's what really helps us grow. And we want to bring bigger guests on. Like, I have dreams of bringing guests on here that probably are, like, you'll laugh at me if I tell them to you. I really hope to get them on in 2023. Like, we're going to do everything we can to get some big-name guests on in 2023. I don't know that it's going to happen, but I'm going to dream big, and I'm going to try to do the work to pay off and get to that point. Because without y'all, and I know I've asked a lot of you. I've asked you to leave me a rating and review. Without you, we couldn't do it. So thank you so much for listening today, and we look forward to catching up with everybody here at Launchpreneur Academy. Thank you live in Novi, Michigan. We look forward to seeing you next year. If we missed you this year at Equip, it was so fun. Great meeting you at Equip if we did get to meet you. If we didn't, look forward to seeing you next year, hopefully together in the trades, maybe in the summer. All of you that like Marriage Monday shows, if you like those shows, you should be making the trip to Together in the Trades in where we at, Montana this year. I can't remember the exact place, but somewhere in Montana this year is where we're going. So, without any further ado, that is going to wrap this episode up. Leave us a rating and review, and we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.